Okay, folks, I am here. I'm out here on the 606. We're going to do the long distance battery test today, and I know that they said it'll do 60 miles with it being like warm weather and like a 180-pound rider and things like that. I'm 235. The height today is only supposed to be 42. I got 20 pounds of pressure in the bike, brought an extra battery, and added like all my attachments so I could be safe on this trip. So let's find out how she does. One thing I want to point out is that I was able to hook, look, I put a little bolt in there, and because of that, I was able to attach these bungee cords. I know that I've mentioned before that I wasn't sure if that was going to work. Well, it works.
In my mouth is a desert, running dry on the tip of my tongue. I can taste your lies, had to measure the love you throw around. I could never hold you down. One of us will have to take a bow. Feeling you so close to make me drive around. Everlasting love, so much to go around. You got me so high I can't come down. I hope you know that I will never.
We are making it happen. We are at 15.76 miles. We're at 76% body or battery pressure, power. I've spent most of my time in Tour. Tour seems to be good for me. You know, there's one thing I noticed with this torque shifter is you're going to spend a lot of time shifting gears, and that is totally fine. I like the fact that you ride more. It's not going to take you along like it does with the cadence sensor, and you just have more control. You're just more one with it. So let's get back going. Let's see what we end up with. We are at 19 miles, and we've got a problem. I don't know. There's something going on with this front tire. It's like whoop, 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 and it just seems like it's gotten worse since the more miles I put on it. So I'm going to have to take it back to the bike shop, and we're going to have it looked at. It does that. So it has a high spot in it, and not a fan of it. Well, let's keep going. We are at 21 and a half miles. I have 45% battery power, so we're going to start heading home. And then that way, maybe I'll time it out right. But yeah, I mean, it's doing good. I'm still cruising in tour mode, and I think it's doing great.
In my mouth is a desert, running dry on the tip of my tongue. I can taste your lies, how to measure the love you throw around. I could never hold you down. You're tall as the so full of emotion. You're tall as the ocean. full of emotion. Your soul is the
I am back at the bike lane, and they are taking a look at the tire. We think that maybe just when we added the flat out, that it just, the tire just didn't get seated correctly, and then my brakes started hitting again, that front rotor, and to me that was an issue. Well, it seems like every time we tried to tighten up the tire, it would turn a little bit. So what they did is they put new nuts on it, ones with a floating washer, and that seems to fix the issue. I'm telling you what, if you have issues, come to the bike lane. By the time I ran the battery down to 0, as you saw, I had done 33.63 miles, and that is pretty good. But I didn't talk about it right after the trip. Obviously, I'm here in my office. It's a couple days later because I want to take a look at a couple things and share them with you so that you know. So these are some things that I didn't know that are different with the A2. Number one is the seat post on the A2 is 30.9. And the one on the Aventure original version is 30.4. And I only know this because I went to take the seat post from one, put it on the other because I wanted the suspension seat post for the long trip. That fit, it was still a little bit loose. I'm like, huh. And then I was not able to insert the seat into the Aventure 1 from the Aventure 2. So I've ordered me a little filler shim, seat post shim, to get all that adjusted right. Secondly, the display on the Aventure 2 is a little bit different than the one on the Aventure 1. I mean, I believe it's the same display, but the software is different. And what I noticed was that when it came to tracking like a trip A or a trip B, it's a lot harder than it is on the Aventure because, you know, you would normally have press like +1 or +2, or I mean, no, you'd hit the I button and it would show you, it would just bounce through the screen and it would show you that, yeah, here you go. This is how far your trip has been. With this new display and new model, I had to look it up in the manual because I was like, I can't even find my trip data. And that is because now you have to like long press or double press the two turn signals, and I don't know, it's a way that you have to do it. And unfortunately, I'm going to look at that way more than I'm going to look at how many trees I've saved during my ride. So I wish that Aventon would have just kept it simple and made it so that we could check our trip data and reset that easily, but instead now you have to dive into the menu to do so. If you look, I now have rain on my shirt because I was getting ready to talk about this next piece, so I wanted to do some measurements real quick, and I ran out there and it was raining. So there you go, there's a little rain on me. But here was the thing. During my ride, I didn't have any pedal strikes, and I was like, okay, either I've learned how to ride a bike better, or they made some changes. So I just ran outside, and I wanted to check the height of of where the crankset goes, and they're both the same. So before with the Aventure 1, my front foot would hit the front tire sometimes, and then I even shortened that crank from 170 to 152 millimeters, and I didn't have that issue again. Well, so far, I haven't had that issue with the Aventure 2. Things have been fine. I just must be a better rider at this point, although we will see when I do the mountain bike test with it if it's actually an issue, if that's what's actually gonna happen. Also during the trip, I went ahead and noticed that when you're using a torque sensor, so I had to shift gears a lot, and that's totally understandable and fine, but it will take a while for you to get used to this new torque sensor if you've been using a cadence sensor before. I'd be riding along, and then I would either slow down or speed up or whatever it was, or I wouldn't put as much pressure on the crank, and then it actually felt like my tires didn't have enough air in it, so I felt like it kind of dragged a little bit. So I would switch my gearing, I'd lower to a different gear, and then it would feel fine again. So for me, it seemed like whenever I was in the wrong gear or whatever, it felt like I was just kind of pushing the bike along, like it needed air in the tires. But I checked them, they were still at 20 PSI by the time I got back. And so I figured it out that when you need to shift gears is when the bike feels like it's dragging, or you just need to apply more pressure to the crank. So that's just something for you to keep in mind while you have your Aventure 2. All right, guys, that does it for the Aventure. Well, it's kind of like a cold weather battery test, but you get the idea. If you find value in these videos, please go ahead, hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 2,000 subscribers. I think that'd be really cool if I did it. You don't have to. If you don't do it, that's fine too. I'll still keep putting videos out for you, but it would just be something neat. Also, if you're looking for an adventure, I'm going to leave a link down below, and if you use it, that lets Aventon know that, hey, we value these videos that I'm putting out, and who knows what that might lead into. So until I see you on the next one, enjoy the ride.